Yesterday, there was an article in the Straits Times that was very prominent. It conveyed the letter from the election department saying that there is sufficient time for the candidate to submit their application for the Certificate of Eligibility, the COE. And the article later on referred to me making a complaint that it was too rushed. Now this article from the Straits Times distort the actual position. My post about the rush, time frame, refer to the period from the announcement of the eligible candidate, which is 21st of August, and the nomination, which is 22nd of August. And that means it's only less than 1 day. And I also said I have to print posters and banners. It costs a lot of money. And if I print, and this cannot be printed in 1 day, it will take at least 5 days at great expense, express job. Therefore, it is unreasonable to expect a candidate to spend so much money printing in advance, not knowing whether they will be qualified or not. Of course, I'm confident I'll be qualified under the alternative track, but we never know. It is the discretion of the Presidential Election Committee. So do I have to spend this money with the risk that it will be wasted? So my complaint is the period from the decision of the PEC to the nomination day. I also said that I have to reach out to over 2 million voters in Singapore. 9 days is very difficult to reach to 2 million voters. A lot of effort will have to be made to reach to so many people. So I know there is nothing much that can be done. It's already decided by the election department that this will be the time frame. There's nothing much that I can do except to just voice out, not only for me. This is it's for me now, but I'm going to voice it out on behalf of future elections. That you must be reasonable to give people some time to prepare and cannot be in a very rushed way. I sent a letter to the Straits Times asking them to correct this distortion. I don't have any issue about the time required for submitting the application for COE, which I think is adequate. But my issue is the time from announcement of the candidate to nomination. That's less than 1 day. I asked the Straits Times to be fair to me, to publish a correction with the same degree of prominence as the original article. I'm worried that people who just read the original article and do not know the background will form an opinion, a wrong opinion, that Kin Lian is unreasonable. I think that correction should be corrected. I also ask our media to be fair. Please be fair to all the candidates. We are struggling under great odds. So please be fair. Do not distort to cause any candidate to have a bad impression among the population. I ask the people of Singapore, please understand the difficulty, that the great challenge I have to face through, and please give me your support for this election. Let us work towards a better future. Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Tan. You said on your website that you were going to respond to Mr. Taman's statements?
Originally, I wanted to reply to Mr. Taman's statement today, but I've decided to defer that to the next few days. So today, I want to correct this impression about the timeline. I want to correct about it. So I will not talk about the other things today.
Okay. Actually, yesterday I think Mr. George Goh has some comments about asking people to stop complaining about such timeline and that he has already prepared for these elections for the past 6 or 7 years or so. So do you have any comments about this comment?
I respect Mr. George Goh, although he appears, not to me, but to many people, to be arrogant. Yes, he has done his part, that's fine. But my issue here, we should look at this issue on its merits. And I will not comment about Mr. George Goh's behavior or character. I will let other people make their judgment.
Sorry, just one more question. So Mr. George Goh said that in reply to your statement of discussing who should step down if the two of you both qualify, he said that he's not considering stepping down. How do you respond to that?
My main aim is there should be one non-establishment candidate. So one of us will have to step down to give the people a chance to not to split the votes, to avoid the split of the votes. That's my main aim. I continue to have that aim, and what I will do will depend on Mr. George Goh's position after the results are announced. And I will still be, I do not hold Mr. George Goh in a negative way, in spite of his statements. I think we should focus on what is good for the people of Singapore. And if it is good for the people of Singapore to have one independent candidate, then I will abide by that wish in the best possible way. And I also will want to do my best for that candidate to be a person of character, who will work for the good of the people of Singapore and not for self-interest. I do not mean to cast any aspersion on Mr. George Goh. I still hold him in regard, in spite of what he has said, and I will then decide if there's a four-way contest, what is the best way.